Warning, this podcast contains spoilers.
Hello everyone, and welcome to the As Seen on TV podcast for Supergirl Season 1, Episode 2, Stronger Together. I'm your host, Cleo, and with me I have Savannah or Rachel.
Hello.
What's up?
Not a whole lot, actually. At first I didn't know I was going to watch it. Then I was like, oh, I'll watch the first episode.
Yeah, so you weren't with us last week. How do you like this show?
So far it's a humanizing. It's not a typical superhero show. It's like she may be, Krypton, but she is very human.
Mm-hmm.
They very much human, made her human. So it's kind of her learning curve is really sharp.
Yeah. And they're definitely, you see it more with this episode too, but they're definitely setting her apart from Superman, and she's saying why she's different. She's like, yeah, I get it. I know why I'm different.
Well, yeah, and he's kind of used his powers ever since he was a baby. He didn't have someone to say, no, don't, no, or teach him not to, because she wasn't there to kind of guide him. Mm-hmm. So, her haven't used her powers in 10 years, 20 years, whatever, however long it is.
Well, when she was a child on Krypton, nobody had powers on Krypton.
Well, she said she knew how to fly, so, and they have the super strength, so everyone had the same thing. Basically, everyone had the same powers, so it wasn't anything different than anything else.
Because the point of Krypton always was they weren't super strong because of the sun. They had a red sun instead of a yellow sun.
Well, they might not have been super strong, but they could still. Well, she said, basically she kind of forgot how to fly. Yeah. And then she remembers how it felt and stuff like that. So, they had some. I'm not saying super strong, but they had some. But they had to have known some of their powers, because she seemed like she knew. She had the grasp of what she was capable of, but she just never used it.
Yeah, and definitely, even on Krypton, it seems that Kryptonians are tougher than humans because, now I forget her name, but her evil auntie.
Her aunt.
Her evil
auntie.
Humans are so fragile. Like, fragile. They were tougher,
Yeah. So they had, to them, they might not have had the powers because everyone was the same. It was just like here, like everyone, if we went to some lesser, like say lesser planet, to them, we would be a superhero because, that kind of thing. That's what I'm just guessing at, because, they come from different atmosphere, different way they lived. So I like the fact that they very much didn't make her right off the bat, like, super badass kicking. She's learning, and she has to realize she needs to learn this, basically learn how to ride a bike all over again.
Yeah. And even from the beginning, when she wanted to get a normal job and like make a difference that way. So she's always wanted to be different than Clark. Kal-El.
Kal-El.
She's called him Kal.
Yeah.
So yeah, she's always wanted to be different.
I'm really glad that she kept her name though. That's really cool.
Yeah.
I actually like it.
Because Tara's a pretty, normal name.
Pretty normal name.
Pretty normal name. Yeah.
Yeah. So I know it's pretty. It's a pretty name. So I'm glad she kept it. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I can't remember the aunt's name. It starts with an A. It's like Aunt Agnes or Astra. That's what it is. I knew it started with an A. I was like, Aunt Astra. It's so weird. It's a weird name.
Yeah. Sounds like it should belong to like an adorable old lady.
I know, right?
Astra.
Yeah. So like I'm hoping next episode we find out what the hell is up with that.
Oh yes. Yeah. I really liked how this episode started. It was just like training, like just missiles being launched at her. Mm-hmm. I thought at first like she was actually fighting someone, and then it's like, oh, they're shooting those missiles at her on purpose.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. And then he's like, can she go any faster? It's like, really, dude? You're the one, bagging her and stuff like that. Wonder if she goes faster.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Well, now I'm wondering if there are ulterior motives for why he wants to see just what her limits are.
Yeah, now. Yeah.
Because he's got weird, flashy red eyes.
He's got red eyes. We know from what it looks like he's not from Krypton, because he probably could have asked her out or something, but
yeah.
I don't know. Him stabbing her in the arm, she was a little shocked. So I don't know when, or if he's always been, or at some point did he change? I don't know.
Yeah. Shoot, what was I gonna say?
I don't know. It just seems like this whole episode, like, no matter what she did, everything she did went wrong. Anything that can go wrong went wrong. And it was just, she was just like, oops.
Yeah. It's like, I've got this. Blow out the fire. I can't. Move the tanker. Rips it in half.
I was like, when that happened, I was like, oh, shit. I was like, oh, poor. I feel bad for you. It's just like someone trying a new sport, or something, and then you say, "Oh, I got this," and then you shoot like a basketball, and you shoot and just whip it.
Yeah.
So practice.
Oh yeah, definitely practice. But I think Kara had the good intentions. Like, I'm gonna, there's people who need my help. I'm gonna go help them.
Oh yeah, she definitely has the good intentions.
Yeah. But then Kat makes the point that you need to practice, and you can tackle the big things, but you got to do the little stuff also. So I like that she's looking for the little stuff to practice on.
Yes. The little Fluffy the snake.
Oh my God. Who names a snake Fluffy?
Fluffy. I was like, oh, he's like cat in a tree. And she goes, here's Fluffy. And she hands the girl a snake. And I'm like, he's like, who names their snake Fluffy?
That little girl, she just had the look of a girl who would name her snake Fluffy.
Snake Fluffy, yes. Definitely.
She gave off like the vibe of Agnes from Despicable Me.
Uh-huh.
Like, she would definitely name her snake Fluffy.
Yeah. No, I mean, you got to see a little bit more of the characters. Her sister, you got to see a little bit more, and it was the ultimate sister fight. And, she was telling her basically, and then come to find out she was made to do that, to kind of try to basically knock some sense into her.
Yeah, but I think
it was good.
That was a good thing for her to have done.
Oh, yeah, definitely, because she did. She wanted to help so many people so much, and had this good intention. She was just, out there, go get them, but she needs to pull back and look at the big picture before.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, I think Alex and Kat both taught her that you have to practice. Like, yeah, you're tough. You're tough, but there are people out there who are tougher than you, and you're not going to do a good job unless you practice.
No, not at all. And then she's realizing, she's right now she's leading more with her heart than she is with her head. So she's going to have to find a good medium, middle to those. It's good to have the heart, but if you don't have the knowledge and the willpower behind it, then you're just going to get your ass kicked.
Yeah, definitely. And I mean, she used the power of self-belief to beat Vardok, but it's not going to work with every enemy you fight.
No, especially when she was fighting her aunt. It was still that she had the memories of her aunt and all the good memories she had of her. And here's her aunt trying to kick her ass. It's like...
Well, I mean, and there's an awful lot she doesn't know about her aunt because her mother locked her up in the big bad prison, and we don't know why.
Nope. And she's saying your mom was the bad one. I wasn't the bad one. And there could be some truth into that, kind of like the yin and yang.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe she was the bad twin. Who knows? But we now know that twins are very unusual on Krypton.
Yeah. Yeah, they're very rare. And I think it's going to end up being like a bit of both. Like her mother wasn't all in the right, but neither was her aunt.
Or she had like, I mean, I'm guessing there were people behind her mom, like higher ups, more elders, like forcing her to, maybe set an example of her sister kind of thing. Yeah. That's what I'm getting from this kind of vibe. And I don't think, of course her sister didn't appreciate
it. Not one bit. No. And, cause her mother she said she was a judiciary or a judge, basically a judge.
She was an adjudicator.
Adjudicator, that was what she said. Yeah, so she was basically a judge, and I think my Superman knowledge is not as good as my Flash knowledge, but I'm pretty sure there's like a council that ruled Krypton.
Yes, yeah, there was a council.
Sort of like the Green Lantern Corps almost.
Yeah. I mean, from what I remember, I haven't watched the original Superman in so long, but I used to watch them all the time when I was a kid. But it seemed like there was a council of sorts.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, there's there's something behind, there's a hierarchy, and this goes down from there. So you never know. She could have done something that they disapprove of, but wasn't like completely bad. Like she said she was trying to save the planet, but then they wouldn't let her. Well, maybe the way she was going about saving the planet wasn't exactly on the up and up.
Yeah, probably meant destroying another planet, another inhabited planet, I bet, in order to save Krypton. Yeah, something like that. And I know there's been other plot lines in Superman, other Superman things where it's like, oh, Krypton could have been saved, but it seems like Krypton's always been fated to die.
Mm-hmm.
And no matter how hard anyone tries to save it, it's like it's fated to die.
Kind of like a Gallifrey.
Yeah. Yeah. No, just like that.
No matter what, it's just fated to not be there.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean, this episode, it kind of made it. I finally, Jimmy and her friend, I can never remember his name.
Yes.
Finally met.
Jeremy.
Finally met.
Jeremy.
But I was like,
Jays.
When they met each other, and they were like, kind of like, well, I said it first. They're kind of just little like tit for tat, kind of trying to get her attention. I'm just like, okay, this is kind of awkward.
This is what's happening. We have a love triangle. Okay, great.
I know. Yeah, exactly. I was like, okay. I'm just thinking. I know that her friend has a crush on her, but I'm just thinking Jimmy's just like whatever, little guy. I know more than you do because I hang out. I hang out with her cousin.
I've done this already. Move over.
But then that when Jimmy and her were talking out on the balcony, and they got close. I'm like, oh no, please no. Let's not do this. Let's not do this awkward love, this feeling. I mean, if there wasn't her friend involved, I would be like, okay, fine. But then they're going to turn it into that love triangle, and I'm just like, how?
Well, because you see, I like her and Jimmy.
Yeah,
I think they work. It feels natural. I don't like that the other guy's in the corner like
he's pining.
Because if he pulls a friend zone crap, I'm gonna want to smack him in the face.
Well, I think her and Jimmy. The reason they go so well is because he understands. Yeah. He understands where she's coming from. She can trust him with this secret, and he, besides someone else from Krypton or her sister, he understands her. He understands where she's coming from. So there's that, and that's always comfort to have someone to understand you without you having to explain that you can stop bullets with your chest. And he can give her tips. Tips.
And then Jeremy has mad sewing skills. There's that.
I do love that, they're each giving her different tips in different ways. Jimmy's giving her the more technical tips, you can block bullets, but if you don't want anyone to get hurt because they ricochet off, they can hit someone, just don't have them shoot.
Yeah, because Jimmy's been there with Superman. Jimmy knows.
Oh yeah, he knows. And then Kat put him in an awkward position too. So he was trying to stay, I would say faithful to her and not blow this for her. Trying to keep her out of this, but at the same time, he's like, well, then if I lose my job, then I can't watch her like Clark wanted me to.
Yeah.
You know, I can't, watch out for her. So catch-22. But
yeah, and it was definitely Kara immediately was like, I'm not doing it. He's like, okay.
Yeah, he's like, okay. But once his job was on the line, he's like, oh, crap. But okay, if she doesn't want to do it, I'm not going to force her to do it. I'll just look for another job. I'm pretty sure he could find one.
Sorry, go on.
I was going to say, I'm pretty sure he could find one. I'm pretty sure he's not lacking for people knocking down on his door, wanting him to, work for him.
Yeah, but I'm sure that Kat would have made it where he couldn't work in National City anymore.
Oh, probably. She's kind of a bitch that way.
she said it. She's what I want is more. What do you think matters to me?
Yeah,
what I want or what you want. She's gonna do everything to get what she wants.
I'm not a huge fan of Calista Flockhart in the first place, but she plays a really good bitch.
Oh my God, she's knocking it out of the park.
She plays a really good. She has the resting bitch face down to an art, and she has that look. And I don't think she hasn't smiled yet. I don't think she smiled once.
Yeah, no, she's got that. She's got resting bitch face. I mean, it's perfect.
Perfect. I have to admit, she plays this perfectly, and she plays it to the point where it's like you kind of hate her, but you kind of don't hate her because you can see her point at the same time, and then you hate her. Then you hate yourself for liking the fact that she said something. You're like, I want to hate her
because she is very smart.
Oh yeah,
and the way she explains how she's gotten to the point she's gotten is like, okay, you're a person. We get it. I understand.
Mm-hmm.
So she's not just a bitch.
No, she worked hard to get where she is.
She's got
she said, as a woman, you have to work 10 times as hard as a man to get where you're going, and
to get half as far.
It's unfortunately that's sad but true.
Yeah.
But yeah, I like I like how they're coming along with the characters. They're not just like all the characters here and
yeah.
And I never really was into Supergirl too much, so I don't know what her main villains were and stuff like that. So if she didn't have a main villain, there's, especially with the prison being dropped on on Earth, there's endless possibilities because who knows? They really didn't have a database of all who was in there, but she might now because of the room she got built for her.
Yeah,
she might now have a database of who all is in the prison.
Yeah, especially if that AI was like a recent copy of her mom.
Mm-hmm. Well, I know that
it's as recent as you can because she's dead now.
But yeah, as recent as when she was 13. But yeah, it's ask her anything. So it has to have all the information about Krypton. Otherwise, what's the use of putting that AI in there? It has to have all the information, all the history. Basically a big supercomputer for Krypton's history before it blew up.
Yeah.
So
Superman's got that, but it's his father.
Mm-hmm. In Antarctica. Hers is a lot warmer.
Yeah, hers is a bit more convenient.
A little bit
closer to home.
But also the fact that that they didn't know that that the green stone weakens them.
Yeah. Well,
Superman knows this.
Don't they say it? Don't they say that it's kryptonite and that they didn't know that there was any on Earth?
Well, I think she said it.
Astra?
Because not Astra. God, names are just escaping me. Kara said it. Kara said it. I think she said it, but her aunt seemed like she had no clue what this was because they were analyzing it, and she's like, "What is this?"
Because it doesn't look like a gem. That looks like metal or metal.
I think it's and they've somehow found out how to make it. Mm-hmm. But the fact that her aunt doesn't know what it is kind of leaves me going, how does she know not what it is? And how does Kara know? Maybe Who knows? Maybe Clark told
Well, but Kara didn't see the knife.
No, but when she got taken in the first episode, she had the cuffs and in the room.
Yes.
When she was fighting her sister.
But
she knew it.
Well, what I mean, I think they didn't know what exactly that version of kryptonite was. Because that didn't look like just the stone. That looked.
I don't know, but I think that if Astra knew what it was and knew kryptonite and what it did, these mimic the same effects. I think she would have put 2 and 2 together. I don't think she's a stupid person. I don't know. It just seems really weird. It's like, well, maybe they discovered it after she got put in jail. So how long has she been in jail? Or, or maybe Clark actually told her.
I thought it was something everyone knew because they lived on a planet made of kryptonite. And that's the reason, one of the reasons.
Yeah, I don't know, but they just seem like she she had no clue because she was like, "Get it away from me."
I don't know. I'll have to watch the scene again, but to me seemed like they didn't know what that specific.
Well, when the scientist analyzed, he goes, "Well, it does something to your structure." She goes, "I didn't think there was anything on this planet that could hurt us," and and you think that she would know this what I mean, if she grew up knowing what kryptonite was, she probably knew what it could do. And that's exactly what it did. It weakened her and rendered her almost useless. You think that she would know. It's just like common sense going on because it's just kind of weird. So maybe we'll figure it out. I don't know. Or maybe that's how I got it because it just felt weird. It felt like she didn't know what it was.
Mm-hmm. Like I said, I don't know. I don't remember. I looked up Hank Henshaw though.
Excuse me.
And he's a supervillain from the DC Comics universe. He is a cyborg who has Kryptonian powers similar to Superman. And he was a crew member on a NASA space shuttle. Did he mention something about being part of NASA? Forget if he mentioned something like that.
No, he did say something about family, and she's like, "Didn't you ever have a family?" He said once, and it was very cryptic. He seemed a little off to me always, but but this could be it.
So I think he's a cyborg, or that's at least a version of Hank Henshaw from the comics.
Yeah, whether or not he's actually working with her or not, we don't know. For fact, he could be working alongside of her, and not divulging who he is because he doesn't want Astra to come after him. But we don't know for sure. I know she's working with someone because they showed at the end her talking to someone. We don't know exactly who it is. So,
yeah,
all things will be revealed
in time.
Every time it's our podcast, my nose itches.
I just have to mention the fight between Kara and Aunt Aster was fantastic. They had them fighting on wires, and it just looked so well done. That was amazingly choreographed.
Oh, yes. And, she was completely surprised at how powerful Kara actually is.
She did not expect it.
Mm-mm. And she kept calling her little one. She's like, "Don't call me that anymore."
Well, I mean, that's probably what she called her when she was young and on Krypton and thought her aunt was a good person.
Yeah. And I think she did also to get into her psyche, maybe try to get her to come over to her side and work with her. I don't know if it's so much a dark side of whether or not her aunt really thinks she's trying to save. She goes, "I'm already lost one planet. I'm not going to lose another." It's like, okay. And they're not there to kill the humans, so what exactly are you there for?
I think she wants to make a new Krypton on Earth, which would involve enslaving the humans. Nothing good for the humans, basically.
No.
Maybe not want to kill them, but
but she also is like, she's pissed off that some of these aliens were showing themselves. She was just mad, especially the one that's drinking or eating all the pesticide.
Yeah, no, that was funny. And I liked that Kara recalled from her childhood, like reading about the Helgramites.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was really interesting. I love the flashbacks. Flashbacks are done really well.
And I'm wondering if this is going to be a reoccurring thing, like her remembering reading, or because her mother would come home and tell her about stuff at work.
Yeah.
You know? So if she remembers things that her mother said when she locked up the bad people, then,
Yeah,
that would be a way for her to be like, I know what this dude is.
Yeah, I mean, they do the flashbacks so they're relevant to what they're doing now. Some shows don't do that, and you're just like, why did you have that flashback?
Yeah. It's so funny, but I just was talking about that in Arrow, because season 3 Arrow flashbacks were like on point. Everything that was happening in the episode was like linked to the flashbacks. And this season is, I don't know, just doesn't make any sense to me.
It doesn't make any sense. I'm only on season 2. I can't remember what episode, like 8 or 9 or something like that.
Season 3 is definitely my favorite season.
I'll get there soon. I just have to find time, that whole time thing.
What is time? I don't have any of that.
I know, right? No, but I'm actually finding myself liking it because she's very likable and she's very personable. You can like relate to her, and even if you're not an alien, but you can relate to her awkwardness. You can relate to her trying to find herself, trying to make the place better, trying to make a stamp in the world.
Mm-hmm.
So you can, what more can you ask for in a superhero than someone that's relatable?
Exactly. And also can punch through walls.
Oh, and warm up your coffee with your eyes. That would be amazing.
Oh, that was amazing. I want to do that.
I know, right? I was like watching it and my coffee went cold. And I'm like, that would be really good right now.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, no, it doesn't work. Sorry. I don't have that.
Just staring at your coffee for an hour like,
maybe.
Come on.
Yeah. But that, yeah.
And I really like this show being part of the Arrowverse, like the Flash and the Arrow, stuff is great because Supergirl's dealing with aliens, Flash is dealing with powered people, and Arrow is starting to deal with magic. So I'm just like, this is perfect. Like each show is doing its own thing. It's amazing.
It is. I mean, I was going to say, the conversations between her and her friends and stuff are just so poignant and they're on point and they relate to what she's going through. Mm-hmm. And there's always a point to that's why I like that. It's like really good writing. It's like there's a point to everything. There's a point to it. They're not just saying it just to say it.
Yeah.
And having Jimmy there kind of helps a little bit since, he's gone through this stuff before. Mm-hmm. He can tell her. He can straight out tell her, yeah. You might want to calm that down just a little bit.
Tiny bit.
So
next episode is Fight or Flight. Supergirl's powers are tested when Reactron, one of Superman's formidable enemies, arrives in National City and targets the young hero. Also, Kat plans to run an expose on Supergirl. Tech entrepreneur Maxwell Lord guest stars. What I remember from Maxwell Lord from the DCU is that he's a dick.
Yeah.
It's basically all I can recall of him. It's just he's a dick.
He's a dick. But yeah, I'm kind of interested into what Kat and Supergirl have to talk about since, she picked up her car and flew her off to some cliff somewhere.
Yeah. It would be so funny if she just left her on the cliff when they're done with the interview. Just like, bye.
Bye. Well, she didn't have her driver, does it? Otherwise, I don't think her driver's
was the driver not in the car?
I don't think, because he put her in the car.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And then she felt a bump, and she's like, be careful. And by that time, she was already in the air.
Yeah.
So possibly really the driver's not even, he's not even there.
Yeah.
So, I have to see. I'm actually really enjoying it. I'm surprised.
Yay! So where can the people find you, Rachel?
They can find me at Twitter at Savannah17 and on Twitch at /Savannah.
Yay. You can find me on the socials at Cleomoto and on Twitch at the Cleomoto. And you can find all of us at ASO TV Podcasts on Facebook, Twitter, Gmail, Google+, and right here on YouTube. Follow us for some more podcasts from some of your favorite TV shows. Until next week, goodbye.
Bye.